Turner's pregame show. Meanwhile, Dave and I have gone through and crunched the numbers, made our lists of what we deem as the 20 most important Seahawks. Not most physically gifted, not the best athletes on the team, best player at their position, but just most important to their success. And we started it yesterday. We're doing 2 a day, so we did numbers 20 and 19 yesterday. And I can't remember who I had. Michael Dixon at 20, I think. Who did I have 19? I can't remember who I had 19. But
I had honorable mention was Sam Howell was one, but I'm like, I hope we don't.
You had Kobe Bryant
and Uchenna.
Yeah,
myself.
And then Bob, you had JSN at 19.
JSN, that's right. That's right.
And who was at 20?
Michael Dixon.
Yeah. Dixon.
Yeah. He's
Bob,
crucial.
You know my policy.
He's crucial, Dave.
No special team players.
He's crucial. I got news for you. I got another special teams player in the list.
Oh, boy. I wonder if it's the long snapper.
Bad snap.
Well,
it all goes to hell, Dave.
I would have put the kicker in there, but I just can't remember his name.
You can call him Justin,
and
Jason.
The one time you were praising him, then he proceeded to miss like 3 kicks in a row after that. So,
then he forgot his name.
That's why I shouldn't talk about him.
Now, I had a couple of combo picks because I'm not sure who the starter is going to be. So, in this instance, at 18, I had Tre Brown / Michael Jackson.
It's interesting. I was listening to, I think it was Bump and Stacy talk about those guys, and are they, and kind of put them together. Like are those the 2 guys that do they make the team? I'll tell you what, I haven't seen much from Michael Jackson. Tre Brown, I've seen a lot from. I saw him covering DK and did a pretty dang good job with it. But I just I love the way Tre Brown talks about football.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting you can't have enough good cover corners, and he is very tenacious. He's not a big guy, but he understands the game, and saw him match up with DK. You talk about a size disadvantage. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. But, he did a really good job. I think DK still made what was really a tough contested catch. But, yeah, Tre Brown is I think he's one of the smarter players on this team, and, he's a good corner.
Yeah, he's a guy that we've kind of had starts and stops with. As a rookie, really excited about his potential, and then there were injuries, and then when he came back from injury, for whatever reason, he just wasn't getting much of an opportunity out there. But I put it as a combo only because I'm not sure who wins that job. The opposite side of Requel I'm just going by importance here. I would go with that guy. Mike Macdonald talking about the cornerback room in totality, but singled out Tre Brown.
Yeah, we got a lot of great competition in the corner room, and moving guys around. But Trey's out there; he's battling. He's a competitive dude. Just pleased with where he's, his progress, his energy, his attitude. But again, 4 days in, and we got a lot of great other players in that room as well that are battling for playing time. But he's right there with them.
So yeah, he's out there. He's stood out in camp so far. It's still early. You got preseason games and everything still to come. So we'll see how that one shakes out. But just on the Mike Jackson side, this is from 2023. Just talking about how he changes when he's on the field.
It's like a switch. So like on the field, like I'm Mike Jack. Like off the field, I'm Michael. So it's one of those things like all the aggression, anything that's going on, to me, this is my home. I'm at home, so I can really go out here, yell, scream, get all that out. And then once I take the helmet off, I'm back.
I think that was on the huddle. We had him on. He's a very serious dude. He gets here at 6 in the morning, 5:30, kind of like a Bobby Wagner type of guy. He gets in here and does all kinds of extra work and things like that. He's very intense. And he's also a guy that he's had a tough career as it pertains to who he's had to sit behind.
Right.
When he was in, with the Patriots and he was with the Cowboys, there was always somebody that was, better than him and were good players, Pro Bowlers. This guy's a grinder. I like his seriousness and his toughness. He'll hit you. So I haven't seen a lot from him, and I'm not so sure that he's going to get much time on the field, but I think he makes the team. I think both those guys do, both the guys you picked there.
All right, so that's my number 18. Who's yours?
I got Laken Tomlinson. And, you know, and I think we just talked about the reason why, and actually the next couple are offensive linemen for me, because, yeah, those guys need to step up. And Laken Tomlinson, I think he just needs to be the best version of what I've seen him with the 49ers. I think he was with the Jets. And the one thing looking at him, who he reminds me of is a guy named Bruce Matthews. Bruce Matthews is a Hall of Famer. He was a Pro Bowler at center, guard, and tackle. Never seen that before. And, you know, just his balance and the way he looks in his stance and the way he operates. Like I've said this before about offensive linemen, where I feel like his lower body and his upper body can work sort of independently. Yeah. He's always got a good base. And that was the thing about Bruce Matthews. Like, you know, most guys I could hit hard and get him off balance a little bit. He was always balanced, no matter how hard you hit him. And, you know, he just was always in control. You could never get him to overrun you or, you know, try to slip him or anything like that. You know, try to go underneath the block or, you know, hit him. I mean, he was just so balanced all the time. And that's what I see from Laken Tomlinson. And, you know, somebody needs to, you know, really step up and be, and I hope it's Charles Cross, but, and, you know, we'll talk about him later, but on my list anyway, but Laken Tomlinson, I think, is, you know, veteran, and I think he can bring a lot of knowledge to that offensive line.
Well, and he's talking here about how great it is to work with Geno Smith again.
Geno's awesome, man. I've had the pleasure of training with Geno in the past, you know, when I was younger. I think I was a rookie, actually. And just getting to know him as a person, just having that prior knowledge, you know, was obviously easy for me and him to get to connect. But just seeing him, how he operates here, how he talks to the guys, how he takes ownership and leadership of the offense, it's been phenomenal. So I'm super excited for him. He's super talented, man. I can't wait for him to tear it up.
Yeah, Laken is a big dude, man. 6'3", he's over 230 pounds, and he's been in Detroit, San Francisco, with the Jets. So, yeah, he's one of those guys. I'm wondering where he intersected with Geno, though, because
Jets, right? Probably?
Yeah, but he played for the Jets. Maybe he was in camp or something like that, but he was with the Jets in 2022. So, anyway, but, yeah, I think he is a smart guy. He's a veteran. Looks like he's pretty healthy out there, and I think it's important that he really, you know, holds down that guard position.
All right, so that's your number 18. So we're, again, doing 2 a day. My number 17 is Jarran Reed. I think he's a guy who's shown what he can do and how disruptive he can be on the defensive line, and he needs to be a part of the solution, because last year everybody was part of the problem. Right? It was just a big problem across that defensive front. Teams were just running at will on them. He's shown to be a very good player, and I think he's going to be big for, you know, Murphy, for some of the other guys on that line to really shore up and implement what Mike Macdonald is teaching them. But more importantly, just to have a complete reversal from what we saw last year. And Jarran Reed, explaining why he's got high expectations for the defense this year.
As long as we work hard and we stay humble and we respect the process and respect the grind, you know, I think the ceiling is going to be very high for us. I think everybody's hungry. Everybody works hard, and we all, you know, we don't really have nothing to prove to nobody, but I think we all want to prove to ourselves and each other and everybody else that, you know, we're not to be looked past.
That's how you say hungry. How hungry?
Hungry.
Yeah. I like Jay Reed, man. He, you know, interesting. I guess what anyone did on defense last year other than Spoon was kind of like, I mean, the defense just wasn't good.
Just kind of toss it.
He had 7.5 sacks last year. Or he had 7. I'm sorry. He had 7 sacks last year. So I know he blocked a field goal. He's a good player. Full disclosure, I don't have him in my top 20, but Jay Reed's going to be. I think he's going to be interesting. I don't think he needs to necessarily. I have other guys, but yeah, I think that's somebody we haven't really talked about. And you know, he's a really good player. He's a dog. So yeah, I like his nastiness, and yeah, he's important. I don't know why I didn't put him in my top 20, but you know what? After you go through this whole thing, you're like, wait, why didn't I put this guy in there? What about this guy? You know, so yeah, it's kind of a tough exercise, but I just feel like other defensive linemen need to have good years, and a lot of it is I don't pick him because I'm like, I just expect him to have the kind of year like he did last year.
All right, so that's my number 17. Who's yours?
Stone Forsythe. And, I really like Stone. I think he has really good feet. And now, has he played up to like his potential, or is he needs to get much better? I know part of his deal is because he's 6'7", that it's about getting his hips down. But I've just seen a couple of times where that guy has like really good feet. I bet you he jumps rope because you can see the way that he's like the dancing bear out there. I mean, his feet are so good. And that's the thing, whenever you look at a guy like, remember Walter Jones, like the two things that were so impressive, they used to call him the dancing bear, but his feet were so good. I mean, it was like if you look from the knees down and watch his footwork on the field, he looks like a cornerback. So, that's kind of how Stone is, but he's just not quite put it all together. But because of, what we talk about with Lucas being injured, Abraham Lucas, Stone, this is, going back to how we put this together, he needs to have a good, huge jump improvement-wise, and he needs to have a good year because he's probably going to get a chance to play tackle.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what he can become and what he's capable of doing. I mean, he's got the tools physically. Height could work against him, as you said, but yeah, I don't know who the logical left tackle replacement would be if Charles Cross were to go down, and I think it's him. So yeah. You're right. He's got a big role on this team.
Yeah, and I think Condotta's the one that put out the depth chart, and you see George Fant at right tackle, and then Stone Forsythe, and and George, love having him here. I think he's a great security blanket, but I kind of I would much rather see Stone Forsythe get that job
at right tackle.
At right tackle to earn that. So, yeah, I think that would be a good sign.
All right, so we're doing two of those a day, going through our top 20 most important Seahawks, most important to their success. So we'll continue to do